Hey everyone, and welcome to IsmsBy Josie. Today we're going to be doing another character from this Christmas Characters Crochet Kit. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, I have a crochet kit from HEJIN. This kit was found on Amazon. It's one of the popular holiday boxes, and I will leave a link for that in the description box below. I think it is also available for Prime, so you may be able to get it before Christmas. But this is a $21 crochet kit. It comes with everything as stated in the booklet here. And in this manual, on the front cover, you're going to see what characters you can make. So far, we've made the snowman. Last video we did the elf. Today, we're going to do the gingerbread man. Again, hopefully you guys, I'll be able to put out part 1 and part 2. I think it's going to be 2 parts. I'm always trying to like cut down the videos because they are long, because you guys, this does take some time. I get comments talking about, wow, this is like a 2-hour video. Yes, it's a 2-hour video, and it's in parts because crafts just don't happen like that, you know. It's a skill, and there's an art to it, and it does take time. So I hope you guys are willing to join me and try to work these out for yourselves. I'm sure that you'll really enjoy it. It's so super cute for the holidays. So let's get into this kit. So it comes with the manual, and it does have some QR codes to go to their website and learn the fundamentals, because they don't really explain everything in this booklet here, which is unfortunate. However, in this video, I'm going to be showing you how I do all the basic stitches that they just assume you're going to know, or go onto their website and learn. In the first few sheets, they do give you an explanation of what some abbreviations and stitches are, how to locate stitches, what it means for each stitch, front loop, back loop. It has the abbreviations here. It shows you how to count your stitches from your hook. It's pretty in depth as to some of the fundamentals while you're going with the project, but yeah, I think the basics are not in here. So I'm just going to leave this open here. I'll explain this as I do it, but I want to show you what's in here, you guys. There's about like 8 or 9-ish, I can't remember, actually 9 or 10-ish colors of yarn. It's a pretty big box. Like, it's not going to fit in this frame. It's bigger than this. But it fits different sizes of different colored yarn in order for you to make all these characters. It also comes with some hefty scissors. These are round edge, so you're not going to be like stabbing yourself. However, they are sharp and they work. And so I was pretty amazed with that, because usually they'll give you some plastic flimsy ones. But these actually really work, so be careful with these. And then you get a little case here where you can hold all your tools. So they give you a 4mm gauge needle or hook, or whatever you want to call it. This is kind of ergonomic, and it's also like a beginning needle because it has this sleeve over it. They also give you these 5 safety pins in different colors. This is where you mark your rows off, so that you can identify which rows are what, where the stitches start and end. They give you a huge needle. It's plastic. You can't really hurt yourself with this unless you really try. But this is used to sew on the body parts, or like the pieces together, whatever that may be. And then they also give you the beads for the eyes. And as I stated in all my videos, I do not use these plastic pieces because they are a choking hazard. So I won't be applying these. I'll be sewing on black yarn to make the eyeballs. So that's pretty much it. Oh, and one more thing. It also comes with 2 packets of this stuffing, and this is vacuum sealed, you guys. Look how thin that is. Don't be deceived though. When you open this, it will expand. There's plenty of stuffing to fill your characters with. So I only showed you a few things, but there's a quantity of each one. Like I said, there's all this different color yarn. And so for like $21, it's a really good deal, I feel. All right, so let's get into what we're doing today. So if you have not checked out the previous videos, you don't have to watch them to do this today. I explained pretty much everything all over again. But if you wanted to check those out because you don't want to do the gingerbread today, I will be eventually doing the reindeer and the Santa. So that's coming. But I'm opening up to the first page where you start the gingerbread. The good thing about this is that there's one set of instructions for the head. And I think that's very convenient because, you know, it is a beginner kit and it's fairly small in size, and it's quick but not quick. So it has you start with a magic loop. It doesn't explain how you do a magic loop. I'm assuming they want you to go to their website to learn how to do the magic loop. As well as anything you might have questions there. I didn't go on that website because I kind of already know. So in this video, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. You can follow along with me, or you can go on to the HEJIN website and check it out for yourself. So let's start off with the magic loop. I'm going to show you how to do it right here. So for the gingerbread, we are using this skin color yarn. They need to come up with a new name for that. I don't like that because there's not just one color of skin. Anyway, so let's do this. Let's wrap around your index finger twice. Like that. You want to leave a little bit of this excess up here past your index finger because you're going to take your ring finger and you're just going to hold it down like that. Then we're going to take our crochet needle and slip it under all those 3 pieces there, just like that. And then I'm going to take this hook with this yarn and I'm going to slip it under these 2 guys here. So slip it like that. And then just to close this off, I'm going to yarn over, which is putting the yarn over the hook. And then I'm going to pull it back and grab this yarn through this loop. And we sealed off our magic loop. You can slide it off your finger. And that's pretty much what the magic loop is. They call it magic because after we do all the stitches, we can tighten it till it's very tight, tight, tight. And the hole disappears. So that's the magic of it. So for round 1, we're going to be doing 6 single crochet stitches in the magic loop. To keep track of where we are, I'm going to use a stitch marker to mark the beginning and end of each round. And just so that I don't forget, because we all know I forget, I'm going to pull one out here. Hopefully I don't forget, even though I pulled it out. But I'm going to show you how we start this off. So you can't just start off with a single crochet. You need to get the height. If this was like a spiral effect, then by all means you can do that, but it wouldn't be in a magic loop, I don't think. I think you just start right away if you're doing a spiral. But since these are going to be individual rounds like this, I'll show you how to start it. So to start it, you're going to want to do a chain. A chain is when you do a yarn over like that, and then you just slip this through this loop. So let's do that right there. So that's a chain, and this is going to create the height for the round. All right, so then to do a single crochet stitch, you want to stick your hook into the magic loop, just like that. Then we're going to yarn over like that. Then we're going to pull up a loop through the magic loop like that. So now we have 2 on this hook. Then we're going to yarn over, and then we're going to pull it through 2 loops. 1, 2. And that's a single crochet stitch. And here's that chain. When we squish this all together, this will become the height. It looks like kind of a stitch right now, but it's not. And that's what's going to be confusing for all rounds, because you'll have this height every row that you start, and it's going to want to lay flat until you connect the rounds together. But I'll explain that once we get there. All right, so we did 1 single crochet stitch. We're going to do 5 more. Into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now we have to do this 4 more times. Into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. 3 more times. Into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now we have to do this 2 more times. Into the magical loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then we got to do this 1 more time. Into the magical loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we should have 6 single crochet stitches like they asked. Just to make sure, let's count back from the hook to see if we have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then this is the height one that we did. See how it looks like it wants to be a stitch, but it doesn't look like a pretty one. These are all nice and pretty. They look like braids. Those are stitches. Okay, so the way that the magic loop works, when you pull this end piece here, these 2 rings should follow close, but sometimes it doesn't, and it usually doesn't. So I'm going to show you how to work this magic loop. So let's start pulling this. I want to see if this back loop or this front loop starts closing in. And I'm going to do it slowly because I just want to start to see which one goes in. And then I'm going to stop. See, the back loop is going in, so I'm going to stop. What we have to do, because we want to feed this all the way inside to close off this magic loop, we're going to help it along by taking that back loop that started to go in first. I'm going to pull it from this end. And I'm going to keep pulling it until that ring starts closing in on itself. Just keep pulling it, and hopefully you can see that it's closing. See that it's closing. Okay, so now that I pulled as much as I can, the sucker is totally closed. Now we can pull this end piece here, and this ring is going to follow. So pull this, and poof, it disappeared. Your magic ring is complete. You have all your 6 stitches on here, and that hole is tightly closed, which is exactly what we want. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a slip stitch. So we're going to count back 6 stitches again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you see that stitch that we made for the height that now looks disastrous because it's like totally disappearing. It is acting like a height for the round, if you can see that height right there. Anyway, we're going to stick this hook into the 6th stitch, front and back loops. You see how this looks like a braid? This is the front loop. This is the back loop. We're going to put it through front and back like that. Then we're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull it through all loops. And we just closed off our magic loop. It's gone now. Then I'm going to put my marker and slip it through front and back loops of the last stitch we made. And we're ready to start round 2. Okay, so for round 2, we have to do 6 increase stitches to equal 12. And I will show you how to do that. So before we start any round, like I told you, we have to get the height of it. So I'm just gonna yarn over and pull up a loop of the chain. So we have 1 chain here. That's gonna be the height of the row. And then we can start this single crochet increase stitch. So you're gonna think that this next stitch is right here, the small one, but that's actually feeding. That's the one that we use to slip stitch the ring together. so it's actually the next one over. So I'm going to stick my hook into front and back loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then to increase the stitch, you stick your hook back into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So we just have to do that 5 more times. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and we just have to do this 4 more times. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then we have to do this 3 more times. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now we have to do this 2 more times. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then I'm going to remove this marker, and then we're going to do 1 more. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, into that same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So we should have 12. Let's count back to see if we have 12 and then do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we'll stick our hook into the 12th stitch. We're going to yarn over and pull through all loops. And after we do that, I'm going to take my marker again and slip that in there, front and back loops, so we know where we started and ended. So now we can do round 3, which is going to be a single crochet stitch and an increasing stitch 6 times to get us 18 stitches. Okay, so again, like we start every round, we need to make a chain. So yarn over, pull up a loop, and we have our chain, we have our height for the round. Then we can start doing our single crochet stitch. Again, these 2 are the ones that we slip stitch together, so this one doesn't count. It's this next one over. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then we have to do our increasing stitch. So we into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So we have our increasing stitch. So we just got to do this 5 more times. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Increasing stitch, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So we just have to repeat this 4 more times. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And we got to repeat this 3 more times. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Repeat this 2 more times. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. One more time, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. I'm going to remove this marker, and then one more increase stitch, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we should have 18. I'm going to count back, and then I'm going to do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Into the 18th stitch, we're going to yarn over and pull through all loops. And then I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to mark it off the start and end of that last row there. Now it's going to want to curl in. This is the pretty side. You can see all the nice braiding. It's nice and even here. If you flip it over, it looks like the underside of a basket. Not as appealing. We want to flip this out. Want to make sure that the nice pattern stays out. Okay, so for round 4, we have single crochet stitch, increasing stitch, and single crochet stitch. We got to do it 6 times and end up with 24 stitches. So it seems like a lot of jibber jabber, but it's fairly easy once you get to know. It's just repetitive, basic stitches. So again, we're going to chain 1, get that height, like that. Then we're going to do a single crochet stitch into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then we're going to do our increasing stitch into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then we're going to do another single crochet stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we just have to do this 5 more times. Single crochet, increasing stitch, single crochet, then we got to repeat this 4 more times. Single crochet, increasing stitch, single crochet, then we've got to repeat this 3 more times. Single crochet, increasing stitch, single crochet, then we got to repeat this 2 more times. Single crochet, increasing stitch, single crochet, then we just have to repeat this 1 more time. Single crochet, increasing stitch, then I'm going to remove this marker, single crochet. So we should have 24 stitches. I'm going to count back 24, and then we're going to do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So put that in the 24th stitch, yarn over, pull through all loops, and then we're going to mark it off. Again, make sure the prettier side is facing out, and it's good to just call out your stitches so you don't kind of forget what you're doing. So now we're on the 5th through 9th row, and this is simple. We have 24 stitches. The only difficulty is keeping track of what round we're in. So I'm going to pull out the rest of these safety pin things so that I can mark off my rows and not lose track of where we are. So we know that this is row 5. We're gonna do 24 single crochet stitches. I'm not gonna count, I'm not gonna walk it out. I'm just gonna count the stitches that I'm doing. It's pretty repetitive. If you need to go back and see how a single crochet is done, feel free to do that. If you need to slow down the video, you can click on this gear button on the corner of your window, and then you can change the playback speed. So I'm going to be chaining 1 for our 5th round, and then I'm going to do 24 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Remove the marker. Oh no, don't remove it, sorry. Keep it on there so we can keep track of the rows. 24, I forgot. I did that last video too. And keep your markers on, you could always remove it after. But let me count 24 and then we'll do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay. To the 24th stitch, yarn over and pull through all loops. Then I'm going to take this next marker and mark this off. So then we can do row 6. Okay. So we're gonna do row 6. I hope you guys are doing okay with this gingerbread that we're doing here. I wish that they chose like a ginger colored yarn, because it's not looking like a gingerbread right now. It's looking like a human. Okay. So we're going to chain 1 to get that height. Then we're going to do 24 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So now I'm going to count back 24 and then I'm going to do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Into the 24th stitch. Yarn over. Pull through all loops. Then we're going to mark this off to do our row 7. Okay. So now we're going to do row 7, 24 stitches. We all know the drill now. Hopefully. It's so crazy how these look nothing like the end result. It just looks like some weird looking dolls. Okay. We're gonna chain 1 to get the height. Then we're gonna do 24 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Now I'm going to count 24 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Stick it in the 24th stitch. Yarn over, pull through all loops. And then we're going to mark this off to do our 8th round. And again, 24 single crochet stitches. I'm going to chain 1 to get the height. I'm going to do 24 single crochet stitches. 1, 2. Oh, and I skipped one. Want to be careful with that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. I'm going to count back 24 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yarn over, pull through all loops. And we're going to mark this off, and to be honest, I think we're on the 9th one now. I'm not too sure, but I guess I can count this. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I'm on my last one. And then we can move on to round 10. Okay, so let's do row 9. Okay, I'm going to chain 1 and then do 24 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, so we should have rows 5 through 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can remove all these. I'm going to count 24 and then do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yarn over, pull through all the loops. And I'm just going to take this one out and put it on the last one we just did. And then I'm just going to remove the rest of these. And I'll put these back, and then we can do round 10. So for round 10, we have to do a single crochet stitch, a decrease stitch, single crochet stitch times 6 to equal 18 stitches. And then it's just letting me know that the next round I'm going to be working the back of loops, BLO. So let me just get some yarn here. Okay. So again, I'm going to chain 1 to get that height. And then I'm going to single crochet stitch. And then to do a decreasing stitch, I'll just show it to you slow. Stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. So now you have 3 loops, yarn over and draw through all 3. So we created 1 stitch here, but we used 2 stitches down here to decrease. And then we're going to do a single crochet stitch. And then we have to repeat this 5 more times. So single crochet stitch, decreasing stitch. We're going to put it into the next stitch over. Then yarn over and draw through 3. Then single crochet stitch. And then we have to do 4 more. Single crochet stitch, decreasing stitch into the next stitch, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, single crochet stitch. Then we have to repeat this 3 more times, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, then decreasing stitch to the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through the 3 loops, single crochet stitch, and we just have to repeat this 2 more times, single crochet stitch, decreasing stitch, single crochet stitch, I'm going to repeat this 1 more time, single crochet stitch, decreasing stitch, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. We're going to remove this marker here. To the next stitch, single crochet stitch. I'm going to count 18 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And then I'm going to mark this off. So now for round 11, we're going to be working back loops only, BLO. Then we're going to do a single crochet stitch, decreasing stitch 6 times to equal 12 stitches. And then we're going to stuff only the bottom of the head. And if you are popping in the bead eyes, add eyes between row 6 and 7 with about 4 stitches meaning apart. So again, let's chain 1 to get the height of the round, and then back stitches only. Let's do a single crochet stitch. So this is the front loop, this is the back loop. You see how there's a braid? This is the front loop, this is the back loop. So I'm going to want to put my hook into the back loop, then I'm going to want to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then, so this is what you're going to see. You're going to have your little single crochet stitch, and then you're going to have this space here. See, before there's like no space, there's no lines. I did through front and back loops. This is what it looks like if you just do the back loop. Okay, so now we're going to do a decreasing stitch into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and then we're going to do this again 5 more times. Into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 3 loops. 4 more times. Into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, then into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, into the back loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 3 loops. I think we have 2 left. Into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then 1 more time, into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up through 2 loops, into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop. Let's remove this marker here. Into the back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Okay, so now I'm going to count back 12 stitches and do the slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yarn over, pull through all loops. We're going to put this marker back in here. And so now I'm just going to take some of my stuffing. Guys, if you're doing the plastic beads, pop them in now. It's better to put the beads first and then the stuffing later. But since I'm sewing mine on, I'm just going to grab some of this stuffing. So here's my fluff. It's very soft, you guys. I love this fluff. And I'm just going to stick it in here. And it just said fill the bottom, so I might end up putting more later. Oh, my needle fell out. Okay, so we worked the back loops, you can see here. Now for round 12, we're going to decrease stitches 6 times, so we get 6 stitches, and then we're going to do a slip stitch at the end and fasten off, and I'll show you how to do that. Almost here, you guys, and we almost have a full head, so that's good. Again, we're going to chain 1 to get that height, and then we're going to do 6 decreasing stitches, front and back loops. So into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, into the next stitch, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. One more time, into the next stitch, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, pull up a loop. I'm actually going to remove this too while I'm here. Okay. Then I'm going to yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Okay, so now we're going to fasten off. So I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to cut a piece off. I'm going to yarn over, pull through a loop all the way out, and then to fasten off you just tighten it a little bit, and there we have our head. Ta-da! Okay, so now we can put this one away. What we're going to do now is follow the next steps here for the collar. We have the gingerbread, and we're going to need white and yellow. So I have my white here, and I have my yellow. Okay. So I'm just trying to find a way to get this all situated. I have a small space to work with, you guys. Okay. Okay, so here we're gonna do our collar, and we're gonna start with the white. I'm gonna show you how to cast on from nothing. So just disregard this for a bit. What I want to show you is how to cast this onto your hook. So you're going to take your ring and pinky and your thumb and just hold it at the end here. Then you're going to take your index and your middle finger and maybe about 1.5 inches, just hold it apart like this. So then you want to take your hook and you want to lay it perpendicular to the yarn, and we're going to go down, up, and around. So we create this loop around the hook. You can slide it up and down here. So let's do that again. Perpendicular, down, up, and around. And then I'm going to take my finger here and kind of place it over this cross so I can hold it in place, let this go. I'm going to want some yarn around this finger. Then I'm going to want to pinch this end piece as low as I can on here. And we're going to slide this up close to the hook. And then now I'm going to pinch together this end piece and this back piece here to keep that cross. I want it to be a little loose so I can put my hook through it. But I'm going to yarn over now, and I'm going to pull that through the loop. So now I have this knot here. I want to maintain my pinch on this end piece, and then I'm going to want to push down this knot all the way down till I can't push it down anymore. And after that, I'm going to take this end piece and pull it out just to tighten that knot even more. Then I'm going to take this knot and slide it up the yarn, closing in on this hook, but not too much. You want it kind of loose. Okay. So then you want to slip this off your hook. Don't lose this loop. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our head, and it says that we have to, round 1, make 2 chains and 2 double crochet stitches in the same loop. So let's do that. Let's pick a loop here. Doesn't really matter what loop you want. That. Then we're going to slide this right there. Let's grab some yarn on our finger. And we're going to pull this through that loop, right? So we got to chain 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to do 2 double crochet stitches. Let me teach you how to do 1, and it's all in the same stitch, you guys. So yarn over, stick your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So that was the double crochet stitch. We're going to do 1 more into the same stitch. So yarn over into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay. So then make 2 double crochet stitches in each loop until the end of the round. Join to the chain with a slip stitch. Okay. So let's do this thing. 2 double crochet stitches in each loop. So into the next stitch. Into the next stitch, yarn over. Oops. I was going to do a single crochet stitch. We're doing doubles. So yarn over. Double crochet stitches always has a yarn over first. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. One more time, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So it's that plain and simple, you guys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and keep doing it. I don't think you need to hear me sound like a serious broken record. Again, if you need to slow down or speed up, click that gear in the corner of the window and you'll be able to change the playback settings from slow or fast. So let's get this thing done now. 2 in each, 2 double crochet stitches in each loop. I'm actually doing these fairly loose. As you see, I think the more you hold your finger away, the looser your stitches will be and the lighter your hand holding would be. So if you find yourself tensing up and you're starting to get hand cramps, it probably means you're putting way too much tension while you're crocheting. So what you want to do is just, I guess, give yourself more slack in this yarn like I'm doing, and then it kind of like automatically helps you lighten your tension on everything. And then also you want to hold your crochet needle like this, kind of like under, not over. It's easy to tense over. It's kind of like dainty when you do it under, so that might remind you to not get too tense while you're crocheting. And honestly, when you do hold it lighter, everything's lighter, you tend to crochet faster. I think with the more tension, you can definitely go fast with tension, but I just feel like holding your needle lighter just kind of instinctually makes you go a lot faster. And when you put pressure or tension onto your crocheting needle, you kind of force the speed and you end up just getting bigger hand cramps, believe it or not, depending on what you're making. Sometimes these projects are so long, you will get cramping if it's long and you just sit there and all you're doing is crocheting all day. So you can't expect to not cramp when you're doing long projects, but at least like when you know how to hold it loosely, the cramps won't come right away. But as a beginner, I can tell you that for me it did. I didn't hold it this way at first. This actually, holding it this way came way down the road. I was the one holding it like this, which is just not an easy way to hold it. It's seemingly easy, but it's not. So, but I'm almost done here, you guys, with this round. We're going to move on to the next round. I'll show you how to slip stitch this. I mean, you've already seen it on all of these rows, so you should already have an idea of how to do it. But I'm loving these characters, you guys. This is actually keeping my mind busy, which is good. It's good therapy. It's good for your motor skills. It's good for memory loss. And I'm just realizing the last 3 stitches I didn't double, and you can tell this is 2 in 1 and this is 1 in each. So let me just dial this back. Yeah, it is now getting late, so I don't think I'm thinking properly. But yeah, crocheting and knitting helps out in so many ways. It's not meant for the stereotypical, you know, elderly, although it is good for them. But I was taught at a very young age, so, and it kind of teaches you patience, because you have to obviously get through each stitch just to get the one project. So, and I mean, if you look at it this way too, I was a kid and I learned how to crochet, so I was, you know, sitting there wherever I was, nice and quiet, knitting, crocheting away. It's less noise making than a video game. And over the years I've collected some spools of yarn, so I can make anything at a drop of a hat. I mean, would it look normal? Like, I didn't have any Christmas colors, so I could make, one year I made my own stocking and I made it out of leftovers. It looks like a stocking, but it's like multiple colors. But anyway, so what we're gonna do now is do a slip stitch. We don't need to count it. There's no real specific count they wanted, but I'm gonna slip this through this top, front, and back loops of the first one we made. We're gonna yarn over and pull through all loops, and then we're gonna do round 2. So round 2. Okay, we have to make 2 chains, then make 1 half double crochet in each stitch to the end of the round and join to the chain with a slip stitch. Okay, so I'll explain to you what that means. Okay, so I'm just gonna get some yarn here. Alright, so now we have to chain 2, and again this is for space because this is a taller round. Rather than do the 1 that we did for the single crochet, we're doing 2 for the double and 2 for the half double crochet. So now we have to make 1 half double crochet in each stitch. So what you do is you yarn over, then into the next stitch put in your hook, then you're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and we're going to draw through all 3 loops, and that's a half double crochet. Again, yarn over, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and draw through all 3 loops. Again, yarn over, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through all 3 loops. Yarn over, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through all 3 loops, yarn over, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through all 3 loops, yarn over, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up 3 loops. So this is basically what it's going to look like, you guys. I'm going to just go all the way around with my half double crochet stitch. If you need to rewind and go through this again, feel free to do so. Or like I said, click on the gear on the top right corner and you can slow down the video or speed it up as much as you need. So half double crochets in each stitch. And there's no count here, so you don't have to worry about how many you're supposed to have. You just have to make sure you have the same stitch in every stitch all the way around. So I like how they have the same process to create the head of these characters as well as the collar, and all it is a different color change. It definitely leaves room for you to create even your own character or your own variety of color. You know, you don't have to stick with the yarns that they give you in the box, or if you ever run out of what's in the box, you can always get your own yarn and create more of these. And that's the magic and the power of crocheting or knitting. Like, once you learn the fundamentals, you can make your own stuff in your own style, in your own colors. And you can make endless projects. A lot of people are selling what they're making. I actually did that as a kid. When I was a kid, after I learned how to crochet, I was selling friendship bracelets. You know, everybody did those knot bracelets. Well, I did crocheting bracelets, and then I would sell them. It was a different look. It was quick and easy. I can change any color, whatever they had in the store. So, and I think I sold them at like $1/4 or something like that. So funny. And that was probably a serious upcharge, because the threads of yarn, I don't know, I have a feeling back then they were like $2, something like that. So if I sold, you know, 8 of them, I'd make my money back at $1/4. And I sold a lot of things. I would make bracelets. I made little meringue shells because I like to bake as well. Okay, so now that we have these half double crochet stitches, I'm just going to slip stitch to the chain that we made in the very beginning. Yarn over, pull through all the loops. Change to secondary color. Okay, actually, let's undo this. I'm going to teach you guys how to transition smoothly between color. I am going to let me take this out. I actually have to use the other yarn. So pull out some slack so you don't lose this stitch. We're going to put this aside for now. I'm going to grab my yellow right here. And then I'm going to do the same thing we did with the white. I'm going to take my ring finger and pinky and thumb, hold it at one end, middle finger and index in the other. We're going to lay this perpendicular to the yarn. We're going to go down, up and around, hold that in place, grab some yarn. Then we're going to pinch this end here and slide it up the hook as much as we can. Then I'm going to pinch these two pieces together to create that loop. We're going to yarn over and pull it through that loop. And then I'm going to still grab this end piece, but push the knot closer down to it as far as it will go. Then I'm going to pull the end piece just to make it a little more tighter, not too tight. Then I'm going to take the knot and slide it up towards the hook, but not too tight because we want to keep that loop in there. And I'm going to slip this off for now. Then I'm going to go back into my collar, put my needle back in, slide it a little bit closed. Then I'm going to put this in to the chain like we did before, but I took it out. Rather than yarn over with this and pull this through, we're just going to slip this on, gather up on your finger, and we're going to slip this through. So pull it through all loops. And then once we have that, I don't want to try pulling it all the way out because I want this knot to stay in there and behind so you don't see the knot. But now I'm just going to cut this white piece off. We don't need it anymore. But I do want to tie it around the yellow. So tie it around the yellow like this. Not too tight, but we're going to do it 2 times just to secure it on there. And I'm going to feed this inside the collar later. But for now we have it like this. Gather up some yarn. And then it says for round 3, change to the secondary color yarn. First slip stitch in each stitch to the end round. So all this is a bunch of slip stitches. So what we're going to do now is into the next stitch, stick your hook, yarn over, and pull through all the loops like that. And then we're going to do it again. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through all loops, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through all loops, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through all loops, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through all loops, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through all loops, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through all loops, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through all loops. And of course this is getting repetitive now, so you pretty much know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna keep doing this. This is kind of starting to remind me of an egg. I like how there is differences between these characters. I mean, this is a gingerbread man, and I really wish, I mean, they went for literal man. I think anybody that thinks about gingerbread men, they automatically think the cookie. So it would have been nice if they had like a good gingerbread color to make the head out of. And they can keep this collar white and yellow, but I would have rather seen a gingerbread color. I mean, I think the deer is like a brown. Could have done that, you know, if you didn't want to like have too much yarn in the box. But yeah, so like I said, you don't have to use the materials they give you. They really, at the end of the day, you just need the pattern. Then you can switch up colors all you want. This would be good too if you're having your Christmas a different color. Like sometimes people will go outside the norm of red, yellow, green, red, white, green, red, gold, green, whatever, those typical red, silver, green. And then sometimes you'll see some people do shades of blue, shades of pink, shades of purple, just something that just chops it up and doesn't fit the norm of reds and yellows and greens, gold, silver. So you can very well get different colors to make your collars. So we're almost nearing the other side. We're gonna end up well, it doesn't even tell you how to fasten it off. Maybe it won't. Let's see. Curious. Yep, it won't. But we're just gonna slip stitch this, I guess. So there's a lot of holes in these beginner kits, and I think because it's overlooked. I think when you're more advanced, you tend to like already program certain steps in your head to where you wouldn't need the instruction. But the point is if you're not a new an advanced crocheter, you don't think like that. Anyway, so I'm gonna go back to the first yellow that I have in here, and I'm gonna do a slip stitch. So I'm just gonna pull it through all loops like that, and then I'm gonna cut the excess off, and I'm gonna yarn over, pull through the whole thing and tighten it up, and then I'm going to use my needle, my crocheting needle, to just fish in these excess pieces. And of course, since it's yellow, you want to fish it into the yellow. The white, we're going to fish into the white. And then the peach color, or whatever color that is, I'm gonna try hiding that inside the head actually. So we have this almost ready to go. And on this side, just pull that through these stitches here. And I love the half double crochet stitch because it leaves a, like a back loop stitch around that I think is real pretty. And in this case, it's going to help us because it's helping me hide the excess. Okay, so I can put these two away. Let's move on to the next sheets, see what we have to do next. So we have the snowman here, the Santa. Santa's very involved. Okay. Oh, we are going to be doing the gingerbread hair, which is, oh, I guess white. And we have to do the magic loop. We're going to do the red pom-pom, the bow, and then we're going to assemble it together. Okay, so I'm going to try fitting this in all in one video. Let's hope for the best. So let's do the gingerbread hair, and we're going to start with the magic loop. So just in case we forgot, all it is wrapping over your finger twice, putting your middle finger over that. Then we're going to stick this under the 3 pieces, and then I'm going to pull it back, grabbing this one, and I'm going to pull it under the 2, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull through the loop, and then I can remove the magic loop off my finger, and now we can start the hair. Okay, so we got to do 6 single crochet stitches in the magic loop. To keep track of where you use, oh, use the stitch marker to mark the beginning of each round. Okay, so it's the same as what we've been doing, which is great. So I'm going to stick the hook into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop. Oh, I forgot to do this. Sorry guys. We have to do the chain to make the height, otherwise it's going to look like a spiral. We have that. Now we can stick the hook into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 loops. You just got to do this 5 more times. Into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. 4 more times. Into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. 3 more times. Into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And now we have to do this 2 more times. Into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. 1 more time. Into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Alright, so now that we have 6 stitches on here, I'm gonna pull this end piece and see which of these 2 pull first. So I'm pulling, and it looks like the lower one's going in first. So what I want to do, so I can get this one to go in as well, you want to pull from this end, you want to pull that out, and you want to keep pulling it out until the ring starts to close. You see that back loop is closing in on itself. It's making your ring tighter to where there's no hole in the center anymore. And then once you do that, then you can pull this end string and pull the rest of that yarn through your magic loop, and then you're good to go. So now we just have to slip stitch. So count your 6 stitches, 1 2 3 4 5 6, stick the hook into the 6th stitch, then we're going to yarn over and we're going to draw through all the loops. Okay, then I have to go in with my marker and mark off the last stitch we made, and then we can continue on to the next round. So for round 2 we have to do increasing stitches 6 times, making 12 stitches. So again, we're going to make a chain to get the height, then we're going to do 6 increased stitches into the next loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops into that same stitch for the increasing stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. We just created an increasing stitch. Let's do it again. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So I'm just going to do this 4 more times. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. 2 more times. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then I'm going to remove this marker and we're going to do this 1 more time. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we should have 12 stitches. Let's count it back and then do a slip stitch. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. You stick it in the 12th stitch, yarn over and pull through all loops. And then we're going to mark this off again with our marker. Okay. So now for round 3, we have to do a single crochet stitch and an increasing stitch and do it 6 times to total 18 stitches. So we're going to chain 1 to get that height. Then we're going to do a single crochet stitch in the next stitch. Here. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then we're going to do an increasing stitch into the next stitch. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. In that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And we're going to do it 5 more times. Into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Increasing stitch into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. In the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. 4 more times. Single crochet stitch, increasing stitch, 3 more times into the single crochet stitch, increasing stitch, two more times, single crochet stitch, increasing stitch, one more time, single crochet stitch, and increasing stitch. Let's remove this marker. Okay, so we're going to count back 18 and then do a slip stitch. Again, you want to have the nice side stick out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And we're going to put a marker. So then for round 4, we have to do 2 single crochet stitches and an increasing stitch. It's now getting a little bigger. Okay. So we're going to build that height. So we're going to chain 1 first. Then we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches. 1, 2. Then we're going to do an increasing stitch. Then we're going to repeat this 5 more times. Single crochet stitch, single crochet stitch, increasing stitch, four more times, single crochet stitch, single crochet stitch, increasing stitch, 3 more times, single crochet stitch, single crochet stitch, increasing stitch, two more times, single crochet stitch, single crochet stitch, increasing stitch, and then one more time, single crochet stitch, single crochet stitch. We're going to remove this marker. Then we're going to do an increasing stitch. So now I'm going to count back 24 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay. Slip stitch that, and then we're going to put a marker. And then for the 5th and last row, we're going to skip 3 DC and same hole slip stitch times 8 for 32 stitches. All right, well, I got everything except for the skip. I'm not sure what that means. I'm trying to refer to the front sheet, and it doesn't really tell you what a skip is. So I don't know. Well, we have to make it look like this flower thing here. so I have to figure it out somehow. Let's get the height. Or maybe not. This is what I'm talking about. This is actually the one thing I don't know. We might just have to build. I might have to just come back and figure out what this is. Yeah, I'm gonna take a break. And in the part 2, we're gonna figure out what this round 5 is. We're gonna continue with the pom-pom, the bows, and then we're gonna assemble the pieces. So sorry to disappoint you guys, but I am going to try posting part 2 in the same day, so it really won't be a thing, really. But yeah, I'm kind of stumped at this. Cannot compute. At any rate, thank you so much for watching, you guys. Look out for that part 2. We'll finish our Gingerbread Man. This is IsmsBy Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.